sun.
I'm telling you, right? Almost on cue.
Yeah.
Like we knew it was going to come up here.
Well,
I had doubts, but Dr. Steve Caparata said, no, it's going to be here again today. It's 2 days in a row, really just gorgeous sunrise. It's fantastic.
And the temperature lows. What did we learn about dew points today?
Well, that's all right. I'm brown nosing. I need my points from the professor. The temperature, and I only know this because I listen to the folks in the know. Temperature cannot get lower than a dew point. So if you're seeing a dew point at like 70 degrees, or 70 or 69, the temperature's not going to fall any lower than that.
Look at that. Your prodigy has spoken, Steve.
Come on, Professor. You taught me kind of well. I do pay attention.
Gold star for Mr. Williams this morning.
Gold star.
Love it. Love it.
All right. That's absolutely right. And, you know, we've been keeping an eye on those dew points because that number has been creeping a little bit higher overnight and this morning. It means there's more moisture in the air, so not quite as comfortable. Not bad outside this morning, though. And even 70 degrees in Baton Rouge. Still some upper 60s showing up. Opelousas, New Roads, Macomb, all in the upper 60s right now. Here's another look at that beautiful sunrise shot. Sun coming up over downtown Baton Rouge. Can even make out the cathedral here in our Sky 9 view. All right, dialing up our first alert radar network. We're mainly dry right now, but we do have a little bit of rain to show you. We're going to dial up our exclusive radar here in Franklin, St. Mary Parish, and we've got one shower tracking through Lower St. Martin Parish at this hour. There's been some showers kind of dotted around Marshall Island as well, but you can see this one that's just west of LA 70 here in Lower St. Martin Parish. So a few spotty showers this morning, mainly closer to the coast. Inland, I think, will be mainly dry. Temperatures around 90 at noon. It's going to be another hot day. We hit 96 yesterday. I'm going 97 for a high today. And again, rains inland will be pretty limited. Here's a look at on Futurecast, the graph model, keeping a few showers and storms mostly closer to the coast through the morning. That's noon. We'll pause again at 3 o'clock. You see a couple spotty showers trying to develop farther inland, but by late afternoon into the evening, we are completely dry. Let's pick it up midnight tonight, the HRRR model. Overnight tonight, tomorrow morning, a weak cool front moving in. Maybe a spotty shower early tomorrow, but mainly dry through lunch on Wednesday. However, by tomorrow afternoon, scattered showers and storms developing as 4 o'clock tomorrow. Some of those could linger into the evening as that front slows its forward progress. All right, checking out on the tropics, still have Hurricane Lee, become a very large hurricane. This is Hurricane Margot as well, tracking a disturbance out around the Cabo Verde Islands. So while Lee intensity-wise not changing much, again, the wind fields become much larger. Still a major Category 3, 115-mile-per-hour winds. It'll move west of Bermuda, but could pass close to the northeastern U.S. and eventually head up towards Nova Scotia. And by the way, the disturbance near Africa, a 70% chance of development. Plenty of time to keep an eye on that one. Back here at home, mainly dry today, but tomorrow through Saturday, rain chances a little higher, 30 to 40%. Highs in the low 90s, not quite as hot. And we'll get another front moving through over the weekend, Sunday into early next week. We hit another stretch of some mainly dry weather. 7:06 now with an update on the roads. Here's Johnny Asian.
And in the last 30 seconds, they've cleared the accident on I-110. 110 southbound, we had a problem blocking the right lane right near the Terrace Avenue off-ramp, and then that was causing major backup, still is. And you can see the MAP vehicles are still in the process of removing cones, but we had multiple vehicles backed up right here. That's 110 southbound. That's going toward the downtown area right before you merge with I-10 east. And this right lane right here is, far left lane right here is really the exit-only lane for Terrace. So it was blocking one of the two major travel lanes, and again, still is temporarily. So our backups are still before 22nd Street, and that is before Memorial Stadium, heading toward the downtown area. They haven't gotten any worse than they were a few minutes ago, and hopefully when they pick up these cones and move the MAP vehicles out of the way, they will be able to open that lane up and get that traffic flowing again. But right now it's not pretty. It's all the way back to before 22nd Street. So if you're coming to the Baton Rouge downtown area, might want to hop off and take Plank, 22nd Street, or Scenic Highway at least for the next half hour to make sure you don't get stuck in that traffic. We do it every morning. We invite you to tune on to WAFB Plus for a recap of the most important headlines we were following right now and that we covered earlier from 4:30 to 7 on the air. And for that, we go to Studio B for the condensed version of 9 News This Morning and Matt and Liz.
Johnny, thank you. And another day where we're starting with some international headlines. Matt, another look at Morocco this morning. 2,800 people confirmed dead and thousands are still missing.
And that's the reason they believe that this death toll is going to continue to rise. 6.8 magnitude earthquake over the weekend, hitting Morocco and then the surrounding regions. And you just now, Liz, have search and rescue teams getting into some of the more remote villages up into the Atlas Mountains, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're quickly finding out that search and rescue is pretty much just recovery at this point. There are aid teams, international teams there on the ground right now, but you can't get enough there fast enough with everything they're dealing with.
Yeah, still waiting on the green light for U.S. to send aid that way, but they're doing this in a methodical way. They want to make sure that you don't have a bunch of resources just sitting and waiting, so they're doing this very calculated, trying to take in aid from surrounding countries right now. We'll see how this story develops.
You know, here's the thing. When you talk about natural disasters, earthquake there, let's get it back stateside. From storms and hurricanes and wildfires and twisters and all this, we have already had quite the year here. And according to the folks in the know, the weather experts and folks with NOAA, we have had billions and billions of dollars in damage already.
What is it, 58
billion already.
That's a lot of money when you're talking about natural disasters, things that we cannot control here. So when it comes to that FEMA fund, giving back money to the communities here, well, what is left? Well, the administrator of FEMA, Deanne Criswell, says if we keep going at the rate we're going, we're not going to. In the U.S., 23 natural disasters alone, exceeding $1 billion worth of damages, right? Wildfires in Hawaii, wildfires all across the country. America's still dealing with a lot.
And a lot of that, those numbers don't even include Hurricane Idalia yet.
That's it.
That's still got to be calculated in. So my goodness, what we are all dealing with. One of the other international headlines here, a train ride to Russia.
Yeah, confirmed that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on his way to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin to talk about their arms agreement and how that's going to look moving forward. A lot of world leaders have their eyes on this because this is only mutually beneficial for Russia and North Korea.
Right.
How does the world look at that?
Well, we're going to start to really kind of see as this train arrives. We'll see what comes from their meeting. Let's get you back into South Louisiana. An arrest made on what police say was a road rage incident from mid-August. August 20th along South Mall Drive is where this all happened, and now an arrest made.
Have a good look here. Actually, we're learning that this is a U.S. military member here stationed in Baton Rouge, charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated criminal damage to property, 26-year-old Ryan Gooden waking up behind bars. And
so what they say, and according to police, they say Ryan Gooden admitted to doing this, an incident there. He pulls up along the victim's car, fires off a shot that hits the passenger door. According to police, there was a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old in there. So charged with attempted murder, among other things. We'll keep you in the know if anything kind of advances from there. Speaking of advancing, the next step here needs to be an arrest made in the murder of a 79-year-old man. We're
talking about Mr. John Brown. We told you about the story yesterday, right? But our team spoke with this family and people around the area who just say this doesn't make sense. How does a 79-year-old man who doesn't bother anyone wake up in his home dead? This is where Crime Stoppers and police really need you to hone in on that Saturday and think about anything suspect, cars, noises, any little thing that could trigger a good news situation in this investigation to figure out who killed him.
It's 344-STOP. No one's ever going to know who you are. They don't want to know who you are. Could be eligible for that reward. But more than that, you know you're doing something for the community, for the family. 79-year-old John Brown found shot to death in his own home. We need to get some answers here. All right, from that to this, a big arrest made. Actually, multiple jurisdictions involved here. We're talking Baker and Zachary and Baton Rouge. Look at everything that was pulled off the streets.
But you're looking at multiple bags of drugs, multiple guns here. So they made 2 arrests in relation to this narcotics investigation. JC Belizaire and Trayvon Parker taken into custody, facing multiple charges, including the intent to distribute all of this. Big-time crime bust when you talk about multiple agencies getting together to get all this off the streets.
So from that, we're going to take you over here, a conversation with the folks in charge of transit in Baton Rouge, talking about Capital Area Transit System, CATS, but they want you to be a part of this conversation.
If you ride CATS, you know that there are a lot of gaps in transit, right? Maybe missed bus schedules, missed buses. Well, they want to know exactly where exactly are those problems happening. Is it a certain street? Is it a certain stop? Is it a certain route? Well, Callie was live this morning, kind of outlining public meetings where you can kind of air your grievances in person, specifically about the routes in the Baker, the city of Baton Rouge, and then certain parts of EBR. If you can't make those those in-person meetings, there's actually a survey they want you to weigh in on as well.
You can find it all right there waiting for you. This story, WAFB.com. Reminder, voter registration. We got a deadline coming up tomorrow and then another one coming up on the 23rd.
Yes, if you are voting and registering to vote by in-person or by mail, this Wednesday, tomorrow is that deadline. Different story if you're using the GoVote app.
Exactly right. Again, that's that September 23rd deadline. Just make sure, and this goes for even if you're trying to make changes, right? That's got to be done. Make sure it's done before you get out there and try to vote. We talked about this earlier as well, trying to fight crime in our community. There's a number of organizations that try to do that.
Yeah.
4 of them in our area are going to get a share of like a $500,000 grant to do some good.
We're going to find out which 4 organizations are recipients of that money. Later on today, East Baton Rouge Parish Mayor President, she's going to have a press conference detailing which groups are going to get that money and what they're going to do with it to hopefully fix some of the crime.
Look, it's one of those things, you know, people talk about like traffic and education, crime. So this is, and those organizations do a lot of good. You know, one of the pieces of video we showed a lot this morning, because it was just so incredible, Kilauea, the volcano.
Oh, man.
Just amazing video coming out of there. And I think we actually have some of that to show you again. Do we actually right here, guys, to Kilauea? Go on, Kilauea. Go on. No, we don't have it. That was the worst tease in the history of my life.
But that means you got to come back for 9 News at 9. We're keeping.
Hey, there it is.
That's it, Matt. You get what you asked for.
Whoa, gosh, look at that.
The U.S. Geological Survey, Matt, hard to believe. A live camera there on the Big Island in Kilauea, obviously one of the world's most iconic volcanoes. Yeah. This is terrifying to see, but just know this is not a threat to any of the neighboring communities there in and around Kilauea, Hawaii.
What you guys think? Steve, Johnny, want to take a visit to a volcano? There you see it. Want to take a visit to a volcano?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Beautiful. As
Thrill
long as nobody
seeker.
gets hurt and nothing gets damaged.
I know. Can you imagine though being be able to watch that safely from a distance?
That is amazing that the camera's so
mesmerizing. You're
close
right.
and so clear.
I don't know. I feel like it's too close for comfort even to watch it from a close of a distance. Maybe an aerial view of it.
You think it's kind of warm?
A little
Just a
bit.
touch.
I wouldn't touch it. We'll see. Don't touch lava, kids.
See, yeah, healthy advice there.
Get yourself summer ready with the award-winning lineup of Hondas at Team Honda. We'll help you find just the right vehicle to hit the road to whatever destination awaits you. Come shop the most awarded brand in Car and Driver's 10 Best history at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.